All right, we're going to have Tom talk about some infield, incorporating some MP, and noticing some differences, between preferences, during fielding. So I'm going to let him take away and go through that with you guys.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to take you through a little daily drill that I'll take all of our infielders through. So okay. I want you to start off on your knees right here.
Okay.
Notice he's got a mini glove on. I really like to use the mini gloves because it's really identifying the specific catch point and really having small room for error while we're doing more of a basic drill. But there's differences in terms of what to look for in terms of pronators and supinators catch point. So a pronator's catch point is going to be a little bit closer to the web versus a supinator's is going to be more towards that middle finger. And it's just identifying that catch spot and making sure that we're trying to catch it and have firm hands in that catch spot. So I want you to get into a fielding position here. So Matt is a terrestrial athlete. We're going to go two hands in the middle to start. So notice for him, first thing that I would do is I'd widen out his base a little bit. Okay. So for the terrestrials, they can sit a little bit lower in this position and hinge their hips more. And I want you to drive your shoulders a little bit more forward. Okay. Yep, perfect. Now put your hands out in front. So notice now how all of this is lined up. So I want his hands to be a little bit more out in front here and using this PVC as a reference point to get into a good position. So for Matt being terrestrial, he's got a little bit wider knees. His butt is pushed more back and his hands are out in front. Now, if Matt were aerial, I'd have him slide his knees even closer. Perfect. So for him now, he would have to hinge more at the shoulders and hinge a little bit more with the shoulders forward. It's going to feel uncomfortable for you because you're not aerial. But see, all we're trying to identify here is to get our hands in this same line with our arm and our eyes. So for him right there, that's a very uncomfortable position because he's not aerial, he's terrestrial. But just identifying the differences of the stance. The end goal is we're trying to have that straight line with this PVC pipe. So we'll start off, now he's in that wide base, his butt is pushed back. Push your butt back a little bit more.
Coach me up.
Hinge a little bit more, Hands out in front, and I'll be standing. We'll go 3 ground balls in the middle. We'll go 2 hands. Good. Push through a little bit more. A little bit more. Good. That's his best rep so far. So right now, what we're trying to do is really push those hands even more through the baseball. So when we're isolated on our knees right now, we really have to focus on our hands. So a lot of the times what we'll see infielders stop right here and really focus on the funnel and gather. But when the ball is moving faster, whether it's off of a live bat, we have to be really loud with our hands and push through extra. So isolating the hands, I want you to be super aggressive with this push here. More. Good. 2 more. Good. So identifying some things for him right now is he's starting his glove in a pronated position and flipping into a supinated position. So for you being a pronator, I want you to start a little bit more in supination. And then as we come to meet the ball, that's when we are going to get into the pronated place. Push through.
Oh,
it's all right.
We're working here.
So right there, as we're working through, now we're moving away from our center of our body. So when we're meeting the ball in the middle, we want to continue to work through this line forward, right towards me. Perfect. That's the best rep so far. Perfect. 2 more. Good.
All right, so I'm back to getting some of my infield work today. As you saw, forehands working on more of a supinated to pronated position. Now we're going to start talking through some backhands here. So Coach Tom's going to bring us through that and what it would look like for an infielder who probably looks a lot better than me, but we want to give you that type of information on how you can create those variations within a backhand.
All right, perfect. So we'll go back onto our knees here. So I'm going to show you guys the 2 different variations of stances. So we're still going through the same exact drill, but this is how you can change it to the individual. So I'm still going to be standing up. Now for you, I want you to slightly open up your body. Okay, so we're offsetting our body into a backhand position. Now push that butt back, being a terrestrial. Yep. Now you can widen out your stance a little bit.
Yeah.
And right now, what we're really trying to focus on is the catch point. So we want to kill this shoulder, relax his elbow, and I want you to think like you're doing a tricep push through to push through the ball.
Okay.
So do the tricep extension. Yep. That's how we want our glove to work back through me as the feeder. Okay. So in this position that Matt's in right now, see how his butt is back. If I take my PVC and you're going to that catch point, we're all lined up. So go to the catch point. Perfect. We're all lined up here. Now, the twist is if I'm taking an aerial through it, an aerial is going to be want to have a little bit more extension. So we'll be in the same backhanded position, but now let's take this left leg and extend it out to right about here. Yep.
Okay.
So here, you can notice posturally already, his body's a little bit more upright. So you're going to have to drive your shoulders down a little bit more. Yep. And for the aerials, I really talk about this shoulder driving down to where the hop is going to be. So it's the same thing in terms of we want to get to that tricep extension cue to catch the ball, but we have to think more with that shoulder driving down for their vision and their catch point.
Okay.
So we'll go back to your terrestrial stance here.
Got to go back to it.
Yep. So, yep, relax that elbow and then push through. Perfect. Good. Start with it relaxed. We always want to be working as far back as possible. And then when we go through, we're sweeping through the ground and up. So we'll go 3 reps here. Good. Keep pushing through it. Good.
It's like I'm chunking the ground in golf.
Good. So one thing I always notice in backhands is with this wrist position, see how his wrist right now is straight. So when he's going to go push through this ball, his glove is no longer onto the ground here. So that's why he's catching it a lot in the top of the web and is pushing back towards me. So a small adjustment that we can make, regardless of the profile, is we're going to push this wrist back. Now when we go through this push, now his glove and the pocket is facing and sweeping towards the ground rather than when it was straight, the pocket was facing up towards me.
Yep.
So I really want you to think with that wrist back, and you're going to have that same exact movement and catch the ball. Beautiful. You can notice just the sound right there and how the ball was secured. Perfect. The ball is securing in his glove. Good. So that's a really good cue for Matt in terms of being a pronator is with the backhand. I really want you to think about your thumb is driving through the ball.
Okay.
So that's going to create a more pronated position rather than a supinator. For the backhand, I cue more with the pinky driving through. So the pinky is going to drive through, and then towards the end, it's going to get more towards a supinated position.
That makes sense. Okay. So I'm thinking thumb driving through.
You're thinking thumb driving through. Make sure that wrist is back. Perfect. See how the ball, when he caught it, he killed all of the spin? Perfect. And you can notice the sound difference as well. Catching it in that same pocket. Perfect. One more.
I'm like Brandon Crawford already.
Good job.
Come on now. All right, now we've gone through straight on, we've gone through backhand. We're going to take you through a forehand progression based on pronation, supination, aerial, terrestrial.
Perfect. We'll go back onto our knees here.
Okay.
Okay. So for the forehand position, now we'll rotate our body, open it up a little bit. Okay, so I want you to hinge your butt back like we've been doing before.
Yep.
Now
aerials would do this too.
Yep. Okay. So aerials. So for you, I want you to get into your hip hinge.
Yep.
Now get ready to field the ball. And now here in this cue, we really are thinking about your pinky.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to think about your pinky pushing through the ball for a supinator. And then for you, you're thinking more of your thumb through that pronation. So good rule of thumb for the supinators, I think more pinky cues for the backhand and the forehand. Super important for the forehand for supinators.
Yep.
And then for pronators, it's the opposite. I give thumb cues. The backhand thumb through is super important for the pronators. So for here, you're thinking about thumb. This is going to be more of a natural push through. And then towards the end, you're going to sweep a little bit more towards pronation.
Okay.
And then for our aerial stance, we'll go the right leg out.
Okay.
Yep.
almost like this. In this
Yeah,
way.
but then we'll
and
think
then they're
about,
hinged at the hips.
Yeah, they're hinged more with the shoulders forward,
Okay.
and we're thinking about our shoulder pushing through the ball.
Okay.
So for you here, really thinking about a good position, push through, good. Good. So that rep right there, it was super, super good in terms of where we pushed through as far as we could, and then when we couldn't push through anymore, that's when it got to that slight form of pronation, because once we get into the funnel, that's when we want to have those specific movements with our gloves in terms of how we're getting to those positions.
Okay.
So go again, thumb through, good. Secure it, perfect. Good. So that one, it was like a little bit too much push forward rather than let's meet the ball at our specific catch point, push through, kill the spin, and then turn at the very end. Good. Really good. That was your best rep so far. That was so-so. Good. One more. Good. So I think it's really important as we're going through these basic drills where we're have a really controlled setting. I'm flipping a similar ball height and speed the entire time, that I'm giving feedback after every single rep to kind of build that reinforcement. So a good rep is when we're catching it in your kill spot and that ball's not rattling around and you hear that good thud.
Yeah.
So you get that audio feedback from the result of the play. You get the feedback of me telling you good, rather than some reps where we're catching it a little bit too deep or catching it a little too out in front. The ball rattles around a little bit. You having that constant reinforcement on good versus bad based off of the result is how we really focus on these small little details and nuances within infield. So kind of a summary here, we've went through the middle ground ball, we've went through the backhand, we've went through the forehand. Me as the coach, I'm not having to alter the drill at all. We're doing the same amount of reps, we're going through the same drills, but the nuance comes from the different stances, the different hand cues, and so when I'm taking all of my infielders through, I have the profile in the back of my mind. So first player comes up, he's terrestrial, he's in his stance, I give him those cues. Then the next guy hops up, he's in a slightly different stance, but the ball speed and the drill is still the same. So it's not a lot of crazy moving parts. It's just, how can I take this daily drill and make it more individualized to you and give you that constant feedback so we're continuing to develop over time.
Love it.